y'all, I'm Hope from Crafty Hope. Today I am working with GrafixArts.com and their Dura-Bright White. So I use some of this in my laser cutter, which is what I've been doing a lot lately. I'm going to show you a quick clip of that. I used my OMTech 80-watt laser to cut out this foldable box shape. I did do 2 passes of this just to make sure it was a good clean cut, and I didn't have any tearing. You could definitely use scissors or a craft knife to cut a similar pattern. I'm just using the tools that I have. So I made this shape. I added the little window in the top of it, and the first thing I'm going to do is pull in my trim and scoreboard. Now I'm going to use the scoring function of it once I get it laid out flat, and all this does is help me create creases where I'm going to bend this box. Now I don't know if you can tell, but y'all, I tried to real time talk my way through this video when I created it, and I found it made this video excruciatingly long. So I am doing a voiceover, so if you see a lot of hand movements in this video, just know that, yeah, that's because I was trying to talk to y'all about what I was doing. So I used this board again to score all the places where I knew the box was going to fold. I also, as you could see, like if all the ones going in one direction I did one time and all going in another direction I did, yeah. Anyway, I turned it and worked with it so it all kind of stayed on my right side when I scored these. So the first way I'm going to alter this Duralar. You can alter Duralar with a variety of things, acrylic inks and paints and pencils and markers and other inks and all kinds of stuff. I am using this as a layer of Liquitex acrylic ink in transparent raw umber, and I think I put too much on it. It didn't give me exactly the effect I want, but it's fine. This is going to be a beautiful box in the end. Now I walked away and let it dry for about an hour. Duralar is heat resistant, so I could have heat dried it, but I just, I had the time, I let it dry. Then I came in with a couple of shades of pink alcohol ink, and I'm going over the top of that acrylic ink with the alcohol ink in those shades of pink. And again, I'm going to walk away and let it dry. Then when I come back and it's nice and dry, I've got a Tim Holtz Ledger Script stamp and my jet black Staz-On. The Staz-On, I believe, is also alcohol based like the ink, so the next thing I'm going to use works wonderfully on it. So I'm just trying to get an overall color coverage of a little bit of texture here on my box. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do. So the next thing I'm using is this alcohol lift ink. It's a Ranger product, and it's kind of a neat thing. I've got a stamp that I hand carved that's got like X's and O's on it for hugs and kisses, and I'm using it with the alcohol lift ink, and all I am doing is stamping that lift ink on there, blotting it up, and then rubbing off to reveal underneath. So I was hoping a bit more of the acrylic ink would stay, but it's fine. I get that darkening texture that I really like. Once I finished covering the whole thing, I did kind of interspersed X's and O's. I splattered a little bit of watered down gold acrylic paint and walked away and left it to dry overnight just because it was going to take a little bit longer to dry. And yeah, so I come back and y'all, I really love this. And so it is down to adding some of the details. The first thing I want to add is some ribbon. This is some vintage ribbon I thrifted. I've got about 3 feet there, and I just kind of cut it in half. I figured I wanted more to make sure I had plenty, and yeah. And I'm using Glossy Accents to glue it down. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just putting a little bit of the Glossy Accents down and sticking the ribbon on top. Then I've got this clear Duralar in 0.010 thickness, and I just happened to have a sheet that was about the right width that I wanted, and I'm going to cut it down to cover that little peephole or window or whatever you want to call it that I've got there. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, I tried to use the Glossy Accents to glue this down. It did not work out great for me, and I don't know if it was the time or maybe I used too much or too little or whatever, but I'm going to solve it here in just a little bit. I do encourage you to go check out the GrafixArts.com website. They have a list of all the things that work well on the Duralar. So I'm going to use the double tack mounting tape eventually. So you'll see that in a bit once I realize that the Glossy Accents didn't work well to stick the clear Duralar to this Dura-Bright. Alright, so I've got my double tack mounting film, and I am going to go ahead and stick it on the parts that I want to stick together. So I'm cutting down little strips to put in there. I love this stuff that I can put it down. It works like a double-sided tape, basically, but you can customize the size. I love it so much. So I put it on those two wing portions because those are going to be on the inside, and then I'm going to do these little flaps that are on the outside. So it's 4 of those are going to get it, and now it comes to folding. So I'm going to go and fold everything inward. Here's where I realized that Glossy Accents was not sticking. So I was thinking about it while I was folding this and almost immediately knew that I'd end up using the double tack mounting film. So I'm folding all of these. You can see everything's getting folded inward on each of those places where I have previously scored it. And I scored it beforehand because I was afraid if I tried scoring it after, I would end up scraping away maybe some of my alterations and all of that. And, I'd rather just do it before. So once I get everything folded, it's time to start sticking it down. So I'm trying to decide where I want. I'm going to burnish down everything a little bit more. I'm going to make sure that my double tack's burnished down, that my folds are creased well. And you can see I'm studying this a bit, trying to, don't mess this up, Hope. And it's going to work beautifully. So I peeled off my double tack. I'm going to line my edges up nicely and then stick them together and here burnish on the inside. And I'm going to do that on the other back side of this. That ribbon, as much as it was good for me to go ahead and get it stuck on there, it really did get in the way, and I probably could have waited till I got at the end to do it. So just know that if it's going to drive you crazy, maybe wait. So I'm going to do the front 2 ones the same way, peeling off the front of the double tack and then lining up my edges, making sure, just like that, and then sticking and burnishing. So once that is stuck together, I'm going to do, see here, I'm getting real annoyed with all of it. I'm like, that's not working. So I'm thinking here a little bit, and I think, am I going to go ahead and pull off? Oh, I can't remember. I just did this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and those inside flaps there where I put the double tack on the inside, I'm going to pull that off and then fold it in and stick it down and burnish it, and then do the same thing on this other side. Again, those ribbons, oh my gosh, all up in my way. Pull that up, fold it down, and burnish. And from there, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull off that graphics there and the clear film. And I'm going to use some more of the double tack and just make a frame exactly where I had the Glossy Accents. Now you'll see what I'm going to put in there. The Duralar, this Duralar in particular, there is, I can't remember which one is food safe. This one is not food safe. So what I'm going to put in here are some candies that are wrapped so that none of the candies actually touch it. If you wanted to put some loose candies, like some conversation hearts or something in here, I would definitely recommend bagging them up somehow to put in here. Because to me, this is absolutely just a treat box, but you could put anything in here. You could make some kind of other little art project to put it in here, make a tiny little card or any kind of fun little little treat for your sweetheart can go in there. But like I said, since this is not food safe, I would recommend maybe something that is wrapped up or sealed somehow. That's just my little tip. So as you can see, I put that little frame of the double tack on there, and y'all, it perfect sticks in there. I don't know why I didn't go with that to start with, but you know. So I've got these candies that I have just barely fit into my box. I thought I had measured it better, but that's okay. They still work. And from there, I am going to take my ribbons down the side of my box as neat as I can, cross them underneath, and then tie them up at the top in a pretty little bow. I got real perfectionist here with this. Now, a bigger bow would definitely be really pretty, but I wasn't sure how well it would stick on the edges. So yeah. And that is it for my pretty little treat box. I'm going to have some pictures for you at the end. I do encourage you to go check out grafixarts.com and see all the different materials they have there. There's a lot to choose from. Thanks so much for coming by and watching. Bye.